What is up? This is the Heated Waves podcast. I'm Mr. Bradley. Merry Christmas to you all, since Christmas just passed from the Heated Waves podcast. But with that being said, hope everybody had a good Christmas. With that being said, I'm here with my co-host, my great friend of the show, and in real life, believe it or not, T-Ball.
What's up, YouTubers? Glad to be here again in the Heated Waves studio on the Heated Waves podcast, bringing you guys some Week 17 picks. These are the last games of the year before we get to playoffs. So before we get into that, we're going to start you off with our overalls and how we did last week. That's coming at you by none other than Mr. Bradley.
Absolutely. Man, I couldn't get it together these last few weeks. And it looks like it's pretty much
which is good news for me.
Yeah. But I think overall you'll be pleased. But last week you were 10-6.
Word.
Again, some weird games that came down to the wire. Close games, but games.
Some of those, like the Jets beating the Steelers.
Yeah, get out of here with those stupid. And the Seahawks dropping one to the Cardinals. But you were 134-74, and then went 10-6 last week. So now you're 144-80.
Nice.
I was 8-8, just barely subpar 500. Just can't keep away from there. But hey, I was 123-85 at that point. You had me by 11 games. Now you're out 13 games. I'm 131-93. Again, you're 144-80. I'm 131-93 with Week 17 to go and some pretty important games. Some stuff that means some playoff contentions and different seedings for the AFC and NFC. So, T-Ball, with that being said, I will let you start it off today with a pretty exciting game.
Yeah, this should be a pretty exciting game. This is a AFC matchup here. We have the Pittsburgh Steelers going into the Baltimore Ravens. The Ravens have the number 1 seed for the first time in team history. The number 1 seed has won the Super Bowl the last 5 of the last 6 seasons. So the Steelers are going to have a tough one in this one. Just with that number 2 offense, number 5 defense, and the number 1 rush, Lamar Jackson not being in this week. RG3 will be your quarterback, Baltimore. Good luck there.
Oof.
I'm going to send the first pick over to you, Mr. Bradley.
You're gonna do
Who
me
do you
like
got
that?
in this one?
You're going to fucking do me like that. I see how it is. Mine was pretty easy. I still have the Ravens winning this ball game, even though RG3 is going to be in there. There are some starters who will not be playing. But look, the Steelers lost to the Jets last week just for one. With some guys sitting that the Ravens are going to do pretty well in I mean, they're 5th overall still, regardless. I don't think too many of those guys will take too much time off, but even if they do, I think it's still going to be a steamroll. TJ Watt is someone to look out for on the Steelers side on the defense. He's just been a beast. JJ Watt's little brother came out of Wisconsin. Got to shout that out. You know that. You know me. But I think RG3 and the Ravens have no problem with the 25th ranked passing offense. I think that'll be just enough. And Ravens will get this one by 2 because Juju has had 4 straight games with 50 or less receiving yards, and he's not helping out. I like the Ravens here still, even with backups, T-Ball.
I mean, yeah, you're correct. Juju hasn't been showing out like he usually has shown out. Now, given the advantage and the opportunity in this game, since the Steelers are in the hunt battling the Raiders for that playoff hunt position there, I'm actually going to go with the Steelers coming in with that number 4 defense.
Nice. They got to win.
Check this out. Yeah, they're a little more hungry. The Steelers have 11 straight wins. So on the 16th game, or last game of their season,
right,
they've won 11 straight of those.
God damn, that's a crazy stat to keep up with.
That goes all the way back to 1978 when they first started the 16-game season. So I think not only a little bit of luck is in their favor, they're a little more hungry. That defense is going to be looking a little more stronger than it usually does, since they do want to start RG3 in this.
And they're playing for something.
RG3
Steelers
turns the ball over a lot. So Good luck, Baltimore offense. You better just pray that you run the ball a lot with that number 1 rushing. A lot due to the credit of Lamar Jackson. But I think the Steelers take this one on the road in Baltimore. And they come away with a big win in this one.
So moving on to the next game, the Jets at the Bills. The Bills are basically playing for nothing at this point, T-Ball. I'm taking the Jets in this one. I'm just going to come straight out the gate and say I like the Jets here, especially after what they did to the Steelers last week. And the Steelers, I think, are just as good on offense as the Bills are. And they're going to set some starters as well. Like I was saying, there's no reason to, if you're already locked into a playoff spot, the Bills, you might as well just set your guys and keep them healthy because you're going to need them in that first round in the wild card because there's going to be some tough teams you're going to have to play. They've only scored 17 points per game over the last 3 games each, and I don't think that gets any, different, especially whenever they are locked into a playoff spot and have nothing to play for. The Jets don't really have nothing to play for either, but I don't see why they can't beat them.
I feel like the Jets got a little lucky last week, and the Bills are coming off a loss to New England last week, and the Bills are 4-0, and each game following a loss this season. So that would mean they should beat the Jets in this aspect. But the Jets got a pretty good looking defense. Defensive tackle Quentin Williams obviously looking good. They just released Jaji Polite, a couple other guys here and there, but the Jets do, I guess, have a little something to play for, a little bit of bragging rights. I mean, if they went 7-9, when's the last time they did that?
It's been a while.
The Jets haven't made the playoffs in 9 consecutive seasons. That's the third longest active drought in the NFL. So I don't see the Jets taking this one, especially when Buffalo's at home.
It's going to be tough.
I don't see Buffalo, even though, like I said, they've locked in that number 5 seed, they're still hungry. They still need to prove a point. It behoove them to win this game and, keep a positive mind frame going forward here, knowing you got that win in your back pocket the last game you played.
Absolutely, especially of the season. So,
give me Buffalo.
Moving on.
Next game we got for you guys
Waste of time. Waste of time.
Is going to be the Saints at Panthers. Saints are 34-plus points in their last three straight games. They're looking pretty good this year. They're actually in the NFC wildcard hunt still at 12-3. They are looking at the number 3 seed. I don't know if the Saints are going to do the same thing. Do you think the Saints rest their starters?
I've already heard that they're not, and that's because they could possibly move up to number 2 spot, or they're number 3
take advantage
spot.
of a number 2 seed?
Yeah, because if the Packers win and Seattle beats the 49ers, Packers would be number 1, Saints would be number 2, and I believe number 3 would go to Seattle, if I'm not mistaken, or the Niners. Well, if the Seattle beats the Niners, then it would obviously go to the Seattle, then the Niners. That would be the top 4. So they're playing for a 2 seed, or even a possible. They may even have a chance at a number 1 seed if some crazy shit happened.
Could be.
The Saints. But look, I didn't even have any stats wrote out. Look at this shit. I mean, it literally says Saints, no chance Panthers win this ball game. I like the Saints. I don't care. The only people who are rooting for the Panthers at this point for this game are Panthers fans to get a win because they've lost 7 or 8 straight.
Drew Brees does have the highest passer rating ever by a quarterback at age 40, plus season. I mean, the dude's just a beast. You're absolutely right. The Saints are one of 3 NFC playoff teams in the top 15 in total offense, total defense, and scoring defense. The other 2 teams are San Francisco and Minnesota. So they're just a powerhouse coming in on that 12-3. Maybe they didn't even have 3 losses if they didn't start out so rough and lost Drew Brees a little early there. So, don't doubt Christian McCaffrey. He has 100-plus scrimmage yards in 9 consecutive games. So, look for him to be deadly. But, I went with the Saints as well. It just seemed a little easier in my eyes.
Next game will be the Browns at the Bengals. Basically, both these teams, well, the Bengals are locked into the number 1 draft position, unless they trade for somebody for it, for a bunch of picks or whatever. So I don't know what they would be playing here for, and the Browns are basically, I think, well, you know what? I'll hand it over to you, T-Ball. Who you got?
Well, the Browns have won 3 consecutive games versus the Bengals.
Bengals had a great game last week where they came from behind.
I was watching something on ESPN that talked about if the Browns could win their next 2 games. Someone was telling some hypothetical situation on ESPN saying that if the Browns were to win these next 2 games and then this team, that team, one of those ifs, ands, and buts, give me some nuts,
Yeah, they're eliminated now.
But as far as them winning this ball game, I don't see the point of even playing this game. What's it going to do? Win you a division? It's not going to do that.
Nope.
I don't know. I think it's just maybe an extra game.
So then what would you do? Just take all the starters out? Is that what you're saying for the Browns?
I don't know, really. I mean,
I say you still play the starters. They got to make that paycheck. Got to earn it for me.
I know the Bengals are getting the first overall pick in 2020 NFL
Yes,
draft,
sir.
so
Unless
that's
they
the
trade
first
it.
time since 2003, and they got Carson Palmer in that draft. I don't know. I kind of just flipped the coin on this one. I went with the Browns on the road.
I also went with the Browns. I think they have more to play for than the the worst team in the NFL, the Bengals at 1-14. Look, the Browns are basically playing one more game to get that 7th win to save Freddie Kitchens' job. Because they should be at least 10-6 with the star-studded offense they have with Jarvis Landry, Odell Beckham Jr., Chubb balling out of control. You got Hunt halfway through the year back. Baker Mayfield, pretty good quarterback. David Njoku at tight end. I mean, what more do you want to be a 10-win team here?
I don't know.
So I like the Browns as well, like I said. And not only that, but the Bengals gave up 419 yards, 4 touchdowns, and 103 quarterback rating last week to Ryan fucking Fitzpatrick. So if the Browns can't get up in the Bengals' ass and win this ball game and whoop the shit out of them, I don't know what's the problem unless it's Freddie Kitchens. So give me the Browns.
Next game we got for you guys is the Washington Redskins going into the Dallas Cowboys here. The Cowboys have only made the playoffs in 3 of Jason Garrett's full 8 seasons as a head coach. All 3 of those playoff appearances ended in the divisional round. They are in the hunt, clawing, fighting, still trying to get into that NFC wild card, obviously, with
And
a tough
the
loss
division
against the Eagles. That's looking a little... it's not going to happen.
Yeah, he's looking for a contract. Man.
I don't know what's going to go on here with Jason Garrett, but he better get his shit together.
I'm done with him.
Who do you got in this game, Mr. Bradley?
I actually have the Cowboys only for the fact that they're playing for the division, to win the division, get into the playoffs. It's either win the division or go home for these two teams, because we all know it's between the Eagles and Dallas Cowboys to win that division. And if the Cowboys fuck that up against a pretty weak Redskins team that gave up 30-plus points last week, here's what happens. They have a more talented roster than the Redskins. Win to the playoffs. That number 14 or 11th defense should shut down the Redskins. Little weak-ass offense. And have no problem with the Redskins. I mean, if they lose this game, if the Dallas Cowboys, mark my words, lose this game, Jason Garrett is gone.
Oh, he would have
He's
to be.
gone, in my opinion. And I think a lot of you guys, Dallas fans out there should feel the same way at this point. He's been an average coach that will not run the ball to one of the best top 5 running backs in the goddamn league. Yes, Zeke is up there in the top 5 this year in rushing, but if they design more plays towards his way and then off of play action for Dak Prescott, God, this team could be so much better. They have a great defense too. But T-Ball?
Yeah, I had to go with the obvious choice here, the Dallas Cowboys. Tooth, claw, nail, skin, hair, whatever they got to leave behind to get there. The Cowboys are going to do it. Jason Garrett's probably reaming some ass right now.
Or not. He's probably shaking their hands saying, guys, it's okay. We're going to get this next win, I swear.
Well, he better get this fucking next win.
Yeah, he's done.
The last couple games, the Cowboys haven't looked all that great on offense. They actually lead the NFL with 39 drop passes this season. They need to get their shit together if they want to beat this, because this isn't an important game for them. But yeah, I see the Cowboys scoring at least 31 on Washington.
I would hope.
With that number 1 offense, number 2 in the passing, Zeke coming in with a number 8 in rushing, I'm sure Dak's help with that a little bit, but I think if the Cowboys just run, Redskins are usually known to have a pretty good run defense, but I think if the Cowboys can get that going, they'll just control the whole game and it'll be over with pretty soon.
Let's roll on. Packers 12-3 going to the Lions. Packers are playing for the 1st, 2nd, or 3rd, and I think even a possible 4th seed at this point right now. Basically, they win. They're number 1 or number 2 no matter what. And if the Seattle Seahawks help them out this week and beat the 49ers, we'll be number 1, baby. I'm going to come out and say the Packers easily steamroll this shitty Detroit team who has lost, 10 in a row now? 9 or 10 straight. And this will be a get-right opportunity game for Aaron Rodgers. And what I mean by that is he has had 9 games this season with 1 or fewer passing touchdowns. I think this is the game where he has 2 or 3, high 200, low 300 yard game. No interceptions after he threw his 3rd one all season, which still leads is the least amount in the NFL. So Packers steamroll here. Look,
Yeah.
Packers steamroll this one. Come on, man.
Yeah, Aaron Rodgers is 24-3 in his touchdown interception ratio. That's the best in the NFL this season. He's just doing what Aaron Rodgers does. Offense has looked a little sketchy. I mean,
Yeah.
on the other side of the ball over there, entering Week 17, Kenny Golladay leads the NFL with 11 receiving touchdowns. So
Ooh.
don't shade him.
on
You got to keep him. You got to keep him going if you're going to beat this Green Bay Packers defense. They really stepped up last week.
Aaron Jones.
Oh man, Smith. Which Smith was it?
Za'Darius
Yeah,
doing
Darius
work.
Smith was just putting in a lot of work. If the Green Bay Packers can play defense like that every week, they should have no problem
Going to the Super
going
Bowl.
to the Super Bowl
If not, winning, baby.
and winning. Yeah. I mean,
Does that mean you paid the Packers?
Green Bay on the road.
Yeah.
But next game is going to be another division game. Titans
Yes, sir.
versus the Texans.
Yes, sir.
Titans at Texans. Titans clinch playoff berth with a win in this game. Who do you got, Mr. Bradley?
I actually have Titans doing the upset this game again. I keep repeating this. Means more. And I've been steadily picking on the road teams, and I will continue to pick these road teams because they are the ones that need it more. Titans need it more, like you said. They need a win to get in to the playoffs. As far as that, I don't think they have a chance after that. Even if they were to have to turn around and play the fucking Texans again right in the first, wild card game, I think the Titans have a pretty good chance here for the fact that Ryan Tannehill, since week 7, the last 10 weeks, going into the last 10 weeks, I should say, has brought this team, the Titans, to 30 points per game offensively, and that spells a lot for wins. That helps your team. That's what's been helping them stay in this playoff race.
That's thanks to Ryan Tannehill. Thank you very much.
Which is crazy to me. Different scheme, different team,
He took over in Week 7.
Yeah, that's what I said. Since week 7. That's going on the 10th week now. He's been putting up 30 points.
See, that's what I was saying about him in Miami. I was like, you guys don't give enough credit to Ryan Tannehill. Ryan Tannehill is doing decently with a shitty fucking Miami.
This is a shitty
and
team,
look what,
too.
But it's better than Miami.
It is. It's better. Way better.
Look at him on the Titans. He's doing a lot better. Averaging
Absolutely.
30 points a game since Week 7. That's the fourth most in the NFL.
Yeah, that's pretty fucking spectacular. Like I say,
He has a higher
team,
completion percentage than Watson does, too. So
different team, different scheme helps you out tremendously. So he's doing some work over there, and Mariota might be out of a job or be a backup at least. And last but certainly not least, Texans won't play starters for most of the game. They already said if they play any at all again, since they're already locked in and won the division, have an automatic spot. So give me the Titans, man.
yeah, they are still playing for that wild card, but
They
it
need
doesn't matter. They'll still be playing for the wild card, win or lose. So they lock up this division. I think the Texans lock this up.
They already have.
They take the win. They get it out. They get it done. I mean, for one, they're at home.
Yeah, it's tough to win on the road.
And the Texans are just passing and rushing are top 10. Their defense isn't as good as it used to be, but they still have a pretty powerful offense, and I think the offense is what's going to make the difference here. They just got to be able to score more than 30 points, I guess is what it's going to take. But this one was tough for me. Don't sleep on the Titans this year. They're 8-7 is not too shabby, especially in this division here.
If Clowney was still there with the Texans, since their defense is so poorish without him, apparently, he made a tremendous difference. I would pick the Texans this week, but he's moved on to Seattle.
I'm just trying to play the safer of the two, and I think Houston
I think you're right.
takes this one, and they win at home.
Yeah. The next game will be the Colts at the Jags. Jags have nothing to play for. The Colts have nothing to play for. With that being said, T-Ball, you could go ahead and go first in this game, but I think it's going to be a lame of the week if you look at it. I will actually give props to the Colts, regardless of what happens in this game. I said they would only have 4 wins this year. They have surprised me with at least 7 at this point, and possibly an 8th. But, T-Ball?
Well, Indianapolis is a 62% favor in this game.
I would hope so.
They are on the road. It is tough, to play on the road, especially with a team like Jacksonville. But the Jaguars have 10-plus losses in consecutive seasons for the first time since 2015-16 record, and lost 10-plus games from 2011 to 2016. So this is not a good year for them. Obviously, they're in a tough division as well. But the Colts have missed the playoffs in 4 of their last 5 seasons. They made the playoffs in 12 of 13 seasons from 2002 to 2014. The Colts are chomping at the bit. I just think I don't know if we're going to see starters in these 2 games. I mean, but the Colts have won the last 2 of their 3 games versus the Jags. I think that tradition continues. Low-scoring ball game, in my opinion. The ground game is what's going to make the difference for the Colts. Give me the Colts in this one.
Both these teams are trash right now. I mean, obviously the Colts are much better than the Jags, but I'm just going to go on a crazy limb here because, for one, I knew you would pick the Colts. So
yeah.
I mean, it's an easy win. But the Jags are at home. So, I mean, they got a slight edge of being at home, but that's about it. And I'm just going to take the Jags just to have that opposite pick. Fuck it. I'm already down 13 games.
I mean, you might as well just...
I would literally have to pick 13 games different than you and win every one of them.
You might as well take the Dolphins versus the Pats.
Right. Like, I have no chance. But, hey, moving on to the next game. That's all I got. Just a different game, different team, whatever. I got to pick it. So, Tebow.
Next game, guys, is the San Diego Chargers going into Arrowhead Stadium to take on the Chiefs. The Chiefs have allowed 9.6 per games in Week 11. That's the fewest
since
in the
Week
NFL.
11.
Sorry, what did I say? Oh, okay, yeah, since Week 11.
That's baller. Allowing 10 points per game right now since Week 11, last 6 weeks.
Yeah, the Chiefs, you know, are looking good. You know, they're still playing for a wild card as well. They will most likely, in my opinion, probably take on the Patriots in the divisional round.
If they win in the wild card.
If they beat one of 3 teams, Titans, Steelers, or Raiders, which is weird to say that the Raiders are still in the hunt. But I think the Chiefs are going to come out firing in all cylinders on this. They got all their starters back, like we were talking about earlier. When Pat P. Holmes is hot, P. Holmes, my bad, P. Holmes.
That's right. You better get that right.
I didn't want to make a mistake there, but when P. Holmes is hot, he's hot. The Chiefs are one of 3 teams that have averaged 28 plus points per game and allowed fewer than 20. This season. The only others is Baltimore and San Francisco. That's saying a lot for the Chiefs with some of the struggles they've had this year, especially on the offensive side of the ball. And then it didn't help that their defense was looking like shit at the beginning of the season either. They had that great addition with Terrell Suggs.
Yes.
Coming over from the Cardinals. And it's going to really help in their favor that Phillip Rivers has 18 interceptions this season. That's most in a single season since 2016. So look for him to turn over the ball. And I think that's what's going to make the difference in this game. It's going to be close. Chiefs got that at-home edge there. And with Phillip Rivers having
it over.
You know, he ate popcorn earlier or all season, I guess, before each game.
Better put some stickum on them hands.
There's going to be a crucial turnover in this game, watch, and I bet the Chiefs take it away.
You might be just right. I also have the Chiefs. There's no way they would lose this game. They're playing for the number 2 seed right now, in which that would give them the golden ticket at the Willy Wonka factory, because that puts you at a home game and a first-round bye, my friend. And they want people coming to Kansas City where it's loud as fuck.
And cold.
It's going to be the Midwest. It's going to be cold as shit.
Yeah.
Phillip Rivers versus Chiefs Week 11 threw for 353 yards, 1 touchdown, but 4 interceptions. So I think that will be the difference maker. He's going to throw some picks, just like you were saying. Keying into what you were saying, he's going to throw some interceptions. And that last week, Terrell Suggs pickup, like we were saying, played last week versus the Bears. That helped their run defense tremendously. That was their biggest problem. They held them to 3 fucking points, dog.
Yeah, that was great.
And I mean, yeah, okay, the Bears' offense isn't as great as it can be, but still, I like the Chiefs here. And everybody's healthy on the offensive side of the ball, so look out for the Chiefs. They're going to come up and they're going to whoop the shit out the fucking Chargers at home this week. Mark my word.
Mark his words,
you mark
ladies
it.
and
You
gentlemen.
mark it.
Mark that fucking down in your book.
In your fucking calendar, whatever you want, bud.
Next game, crucial game for us, kind of, is the Chicago Bears going against the Vikings. We need the Bears to win this game. Vikings have locked into number 6 seed in the NFC.
Yeah, so it don't matter.
So it don't, but if you're looking at the playoff picture, let's say the Vikings beat the Saints. I mean, every time we play the Vikings, it's sketchy in my
Yes,
it's sketchy in my eyes.
it
But
will be.
division game, I guess, just to determine who gets second place. Because I don't even think Lions got like 3 wins this year. The Vikings actually have the lowest win percentage among the 6 teams with a 10+ turnover differential this year. So Vikings are probably going to win this based off of turnovers.
Yeah, they created 3 last week versus our Green Bay Packers in the first half alone.
Yeah, Kirk Cousins is 6 for 29. That's a .171 win percentage in his career against teams to finish the season with a winning record.
Damn.
Trubisky has 9 starts this season with a passer rating below 80.
Horrible.
It's
not a good matchup.
Game. I gotta get Minnesota at home. Yeah, give me Minnesota. This should be an easy one here for them.
It's absolutely not going to be an easy one. The Bears are going to get this game because, as coach for the Vikings,
You've been
already
dogging me about picking the Bears all week.
All year, bro.
All year. And then you pick the Bears against a 10-5 Vikings team who have a strong projected 6th-round seed in the playoffs for the wild card.
Well, they're already going to win, and they're already locked into the 6th.
So are they not starting any starters? Because that's going to be the only way they're not playing.
They said they're going to rest a bunch of guys.
Okay, that's going to be the only way the Bears.
Exactly.
But the Bears better hope Trubisky does something, because it's just going to be, can the Bears stop the Vikings offensively? And if they don't have any starters, then it's okay, yeah.
What's their JV squad?
But the Bears still got to put points up on the board.
They will. They will.
With Trubisky?
With the JV squad of the Vikings defense, yeah. Because if they're resting a bunch of guys there, and it's especially on defensive side, because that's basically what they've had to help them keep them in these games. With a little bit of Kirk Cousins on the side, but still.
Who's to say the Bears are going to start everybody?
They are.
This doesn't mean nothing for Chicago, so.
Yeah, they're trying to get 8-8, man. They're not trying to have a losing season, so give me the fucking Bears. Fuck you. Give me the Bears. Dog Bears, okay?
They don't give me shit all year.
You got to pick one of the 2, so I had to pick them because of the no starters, okay?
Okay. Anyways, next game. Dolphins at Patriots. Patriots clinch first round bye with win.
Just give me the Patriots.
Patriots. I don't know much else to say about this. I could throw some stats at you.
Don't matter. Fitzpatrick's going to ball.
I don't think. What?
Fitzpatrick will ball in this game.
You think Fitzpatrick is going to ball?
Yeah. He's been balling, dog.
Against the Patriots? With the number 1 defense in the league?
Yeah, look, the Patriots are playing to clinch the first round bye. That's about it. But he still will ball. He's been throwing just lights out lately.
He has had 20+ completions in his last 10 straight games.
Yeah, see, and I guarantee he has at least 300 yards passing this game. 2 touchdowns, but they're still going to get stopped.
You're crazy. I picked the Dolphins against New England earlier this year, and you told me I was insane.
Yeah, well, it's later in the season. We'll see what happens.
No.
Like you said, hey. Go back to what you said, like week 1 or 2. Dolphins usually get one of these 2 games here.
One of these 2, yeah.
And this is going to be it.
No. The Patriots allowed the fewest points per game, total yards per game, and passing yards per game of any season in the Belichick era.
Don't care.
So basically, this is the best defense the Patriots have ever had on paper.
Yeah, versus their schedule they've had as well. So.
That too. But the Dolphins aren't going to win this. No, their defense is just too good.
No, they got it.
If the Dolphins win, we're going to have to make a little side bet once we get off the show.
Okay.
We may talk about it, let you guys know, but we're going to have to bet some. I'll bet you something that some real shit the Dolphins don't beat New England in this.
I would laugh.
Give me New England, since that's the obvious choice, even if Brady's not in. You don't need him.
You know what?
That's been proven that you don't need him.
Dolphins, baby. Dolphins locked in here.
Dolphins.
It's triple underline. Score that motherfucker. Next game.
Craziness.
Next game is the Eagles at the Giants. I actually like the Giants in this game. Saquon balled out.
Daniel Jones is coming back in.
Daniel Jones had 5 touchdowns last week. Balled, almost had a perfect quarterback rating. Yeah, it was against, shitty team. But, look, I think the Giants and Saquon and them have a chance to upset the Eagles on giving them this division. The Giants, I think, have a damn good shot at beating the Eagles. They only lost to them 3 or 4 weeks ago in overtime. Mark my words again, Saquon will have 150 scrimmage yards in this game.
150?
At least at a minimum.
Well,
minimum.
That's all they're going to have, and you better hope he produces 4 touchdowns out of that, because there's no way the Eagles are losing to the Giants. For one, the Eagles need to clinch the NFC East with this win.
Yeah.
That means it's big time.
Yeah.
Daniel Jones hasn't been able to do it in the past. They had to bring fucking Eli back in to get him back into position.
Now he's back.
And he could barely do it.
And now Daniel Jones is back.
Yeah, fuck Daniel Jones.
He's got it.
The Eagles...
It's in the bag, baby.
The Eagles are 14-5 in December or later since 2017. That's best in NFL. They're good in December. They just fucking beat the Cowboys the other week to get into position. This team is a lot stronger than everybody thinks. Granted, they're not as good as they obviously were last year, but they are a rugged, tough team. They are hard to beat still. They're going to finish 2 games over 500 at 9-7, and that 9th win does come in New York against the Giants.
No.
Yes.
No. He'll have at least 100.
No.
So your pick is Eagles then?
Eagles, baby. Give it to me.
I don't see that happening, but okay.
Yeah, You better check that defensive stat, cousin, brother. Next game, guys, is the Falcons at Buccaneers. The fucking Falcons have won 5 of the last 6 games against the Buccaneers. But every time I fucking pick them, they fucking Buccaneers beat their ass, and it pisses me off.
I could tell. Tell them how you really feel.
I mean, what did the Falcons finish like 3rd in their division this year?
Well, yeah, because the Panthers are just garbage.
Pretty pathetic. I think
they beat the Niners.
The Bucs are like estimated to win this game at like 52%. But Matt Ryan has 10 games this season with 300 plus passing yards. That's the second most in the NFL.
Damn.
This game, it's
a close one.
It was so tough. If you put 2 of them, next to each other, they're almost identical. I took the Bucs simply because they were at home. If Jameis Winston cannot turn over the ball like 15 times, I think the Buccaneers should have this game pretty much wrapped up.
He's going to go into the 30th interception thrown on his career, which is going to look pretty fucking sad. And going to look even worse at the end of the season when the Bucs re-sign him like they've talked about re-signing him. Because the dude can't stop throwing interceptions this fucking year. With that being said, the Falcons beat the fucking Niners. Good luck, fucking Bucs. You're not going to get away with 3 and 4 interceptions. He had 2 picks last week in the first quarter, I think it was, which ultimately led them to losing that game. The Bucs should have won. No way. I got the Falcons. If they can beat the fucking Niners, then they're going to come up in here and they're going to beat the Bucs with a guy that turns it over at least once or twice a game. They should capitalize on that. Last week they looked pretty good. Give me the Falcons. Next game, Raiders at Broncos. Raiders lost 8 straight games in the week 17. That's pretty shitty. The last 8 years they've lost the last game of the season. T-Ball.
Yeah. It's been a pretty tough road for them. They've come a long way with sitting at 7 and 8. They have a chance to finally finish at 500. I don't know. The Raiders going on the road in this one. The Broncos really ain't shit. The Raiders, I think, are just a much better team, in my opinion, for this one. They're still in the playoff picture, too.
Sadly.
I think a lot of things would have to happen for them to actually make it, but I think they're still playing all their starters, and the Raiders have made the playoffs just once in their last 16 seasons. So they lost in 2016. They lost in the wild card. So if they do make it, it'll be a miracle, but I don't think it makes a difference beating a team like the Denver Broncos who are in your division anyways. This is just one of those ones where it's like we're playing for second place, and they still got the second place wrapped up. So I just had to go with the Raiders on the road in this one. Give me the Raiders to win, maybe by a touchdown.
Wow, I actually had you down for the Denver Broncos, all the shit you was talking.
No.
I'm going to go the opposite way. I think the Broncos are much better than what you think. They're playing at home, and they just came off a win last week. They should be a lot better team than what they are, but they've had high hopes. They lost some close games, but they also beat a couple good teams. But I just don't see the Raiders having a chance in this ball game. Give me them there Denver Broncos.
Next one is the Cardinals going into L.A. playing the Rams. Doesn't really matter, no. Rams atop in that division there, other than the 49ers. Just a tough year for the Rams, I think, all the way around. With the Cardinals having that win, was that last week?
Beating Seattle.
Yeah, just a crazy game. I don't know what the fuck happened there, but the Rams on paper just look so much better. I think the Cardinals just really have a good rush game. Kyle Murray, team rookie record for passing yards and passing touchdowns. Can you name the last guy?
I was thinking it was Kurt Warner.
Could have been. I don't know.
Oh, well, thanks for asking a question. You have no answer.
You guys let me know what the answer to that is. The Rams have traded their first-round pick in 5 consecutive drafts. The last player drafted in the first round by the Los Angeles Rams was Jared Goff. He was the number 1 overall in 2016.
Ooh, that's interesting.
So with them not being able to get a lot of draft picks coming into this next year, I think this trend's going to continue. I think the Cardinals take this one away from the Rams.
Wow.
Rams don't really have a whole lot to play for in this one.
Neither do the Cardinals.
It doesn't matter. I think with the Rams just being up and down like they have been, and the Cardinals just getting lucky, I think luck prevails with this one, and the Cardinals just sneak away with the one that nobody's going to be talking about come, the next day.
Right, true, but
you see the Cardinals beat the Rams? Yep.
Look, they're not going to go in and beat Seattle. I don't know what happened there. That was absolute luck, but you're not going to get lucky 2 weeks in a row, Cardinals.
Yeah, they got this one.
No way.
Just watch.
They're going to go to L.A. and beat the Rams. I know this game doesn't matter to either one of these teams except for a better draft pick, but that ain't going to matter here. No, the Rams win this game, man. Get the fuck out of here with that shit.
Nope.
Cardinals got super lucky last week. Roll on. Next game,
Super
dog.
lucky?
Super lucky.
Super lucky?
I'm gone. I'm past this game. They don't even matter anymore. Let's go into the Sunday night football, because there is no Monday night football. You guys about caught me up there.
Uh-oh.
It is going to be a very interesting game, probably the game of the week. It's going to be the 49ers at Seattle, in which I think the Seattle will win this game just because I want them to win to help the Packers out. But they've already beat the Niners this year, T-Ball. They've already beat them. But I'm going to let you go first. Where do you want me to go first? I'll go first.
You can go first.
I got Seattle. I know they lost last week to the Cardinals, but this game means more to them than that last week's game. It would have helped them this week if they won last week. But Seattle's 10 of the last 11 games versus the Niners won. And they're at home. They beat the Niners on the road last time they beat them this year. And I really just want them to win so the Packers can win this week and be the number 1 seed, basically, is all the only reason why I want Seattle to win. I don't want to have to face them in the playoffs because I think both these teams are just tremendous teams. But that's who I got, and that's why. Simply that, because I want the Packers at number 1, baby. Home field advantage throughout the playoffs, T-Ball.
Yeah, the Seahawks are at home. That 12th man is going to come and do a heavy play. Don't doubt that at all.
Yes.
Russell Wilson is 3-0 in his career in regular season games versus 11-plus win teams. He has 124.6 passer rating against them. It's looking good as far as Russell Wilson, but Russell Wilson can't win you ball games by himself.
No, that's why they went out and got beast mode for a game.
That's correct. They did get beast mode after he passed the physical.
And
came back in, which I know we have a little bit of news on that. How much money is he making to come back?
For this one game, which they'll be playing for more than one because they're already in the playoffs, but just for this one game, Week 17 matchup, he will be making $60,588 just for that one football game, no matter what he does. He could get hurt on the first play. But I like that he's back. We'll see what he can do. I think he's going to be too slow, but he'll still have the power. And Clowney said he's a go.
Yeah. That's going to be good news for Seattle. But unfortunately, the San Francisco 49ers aren't going to take that last loss to them with any kind of optimism. They didn't take that loss lightly. They knew it meant a lot. It's showing now. I think San Francisco 49ers are going to come out ready to go. They're top 10 in offense and defense. Their rushing is spectacular. Jimmy Garoppolo's having a pretty good season this year. So is Russell Wilson.
But you finally fucking admit it?
I'm not on the Jimmy G train. No. Okay. We'll see what happens. It wouldn't happen if he didn't have a ball-ass defense either.
True.
So, with that being said, give me the San Francisco 49ers to beat Seattle, but I want Seattle to win.
10 different games, so no matter what, if I got all 10 of those games, you still beat me by 4 games.
For sure.
Because I hate you. Just kidding. Week 17 picks are in, baby, from the Heat of Waves podcast. I'm Mr. Bradley. Hope you enjoyed them. Again, I hope you guys have a great Christmas and a good New Year's, too, from the Heat of Waves podcast. Don't forget to like, subscribe, comment, share, and hit the notification button down below if you haven't already. T-Ball.
Thanks again, guys. Don't forget to check us out on Facebook at the Heated Waves Podcast. That is with a Z.
Z, baby.
We will get those playoff picture to you soon. Get those picks and make sure we keep it going here on the Heated Waves Podcast. Like he said here in the Heated Waves studio, he's Mr. Bradley. I'm T-Ball. Thanks again, guys.
Peace out.